Anyway, so in conclusion, today they got rid of
Yes.
that program, and Medicare says if you need an electric wheelchair because you're disabled as an elderly person, you have to put in this application. Okay, so if a person is in true need, he puts in this application, then waits 6 months. I mean, he could be dead before he gets one. So
See,
the pendulum is on the other extreme. You can't get one unless you really need it and go through all the paperwork. And maybe we'll decide to help you out.
this is what's so great about our political system.
Yes.
You got two bad ideas. Somewhere in the middle stands a reasonable idea,
Right.
but our system doesn't work that way. So it's either
Sure.
free wheelchairs for all or 6 month waiting list, and if you don't die,
Right.
maybe we'll send you something.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
apparently, the
but
city.
we did just start at the end of the story, so everyone listening out there is going,
What the
wheelchairs?
fuck?
The first lines of this show was, so in conclusion, which is a good place to start.
Right.
So,
Perfect.
the good place to start the show. So in conclusion, welcome to the show. Stick around. Maybe we'll have the beginning of the story at the end of the show.
That's right. Right.
But until
Or
then,
we could talk about how Alameda just kicked off this program where they have 300 bicycles that are marked for rental.
uh-huh.
Okay. So you go and rent the phone and you can use an app on your phone. And the way they work it is that you go for this phone, you pay the rent, you go and get it, right?
Okay.
And where you're done, you leave it someplace.
Okay.
And when you sign out, you say, here's where it is. So the city has hired 5 people to go every night to collect those bicycles and bring them back to the barn.
Assuming they haven't been stolen.
I'm sure they're locked up or something, and maybe there's a responsibility clause for the people.
This is about where the
So then
applause
they're
would have
returned
been
back
if I
to
was
the
doing
barn.
the real intro that we
But
normally do now.
Zipcar, what they do is when you're done with the car, you rent the car with your app. When you're done, you leave it and tell it where it is, and it stays there until someone needs it. Oh, there's a car over here. Oh, I'll go get it. So they don't have anybody that collects the cars. They're just left someplace.
Oh wait, that was the wrong button. I wanted a.
Oh.
No, that's good.
Of course, Zipcar is out to make money. Now, the other question is, how do the cars get maintained? Because the other side of it, in Alameda, those bicycles are maintained. But I don't know.
So we should have Zip wheelchair, is what you're saying.
Bicycle.
And
And maybe wheelchair as well.
yeah.
Of course,
yeah.
then again, your rental period for the wheelchair may be several years because you use it till you die.
Well, you don't use it every moment of every waking day. You use it when you go out, So you rent a. I don't know.
I don't know. Have you been in a nursing home? These old folks scoot all over the place in their wheelchair.
Right. Well, I'm talking
Although
about
most of those don't have electric wheelchairs.
I'm talking about the people who are living at home or just need the chair to go out. I don't know. I've not worked out the details of the system. I'm not. It's not my job to come up with a solution for the wheelchair problem.
Outside for the next person to pick up. When someone's going to come to your home to borrow the wheelchair for the next deal, and then you say, "Oh, wait a minute. Okay, now I need a wheelchair. Where the hell is it? Oh, that's right. We let it out to that guy." Of course, I also have Alzheimer's, and I don't know just where that wheelchair is.
Anyways, we did open the show, which, by the way, is called Timeout. But we don't even have time for a timeout. So welcome to the show. I'm Johnny Gators. Joining me is Brian Blues. And Venison is logging on, so hopefully he'll be calling us. Burger
Yay.
Dude is not online, so we probably won't hear from him. But that's okay. Burger Dude was online over the weekend. And yeah, I called in on Saturday
Through the
night.
Skype or what?
No, Burger,
on the.
yeah, he's got a show on iVlog.
Oh,
I've tweeted the link twice now to subscribe to his YouTube channel that he just started. Of course you subscribed, right, Brian?
I'm a little bit behind on my tweets. So I didn't.
Since
I
when?
did get the YouTube of the Robin Trower thing
Okay, okay.
because I think you tweeted that to me, but I didn't look at your tweets to see what
If
you
there was
were
anything that was
doing.
actually
Yeah.
relevant or useful or
Well, because I
uh,
haven't had time. I haven't been on Twitter. Well, I've been on Twitter a little bit, so I sent you
little bit.
the Bob Ross picture.
Yes, yes, which I did retweet that. I believe,
Yes,
or
I saw
yes,
that. And
yeah,
you liked it.
I did like it because
Yeah.
it's Bob
So
Ross.
that's a game at a Target store. So if you really want it, I bet you can get it at Target.
So that's a game. I thought it was just a
Yeah,
pic.
yeah.
I just saw Bob Ross and retweeted. So that's
Yeah, at the bottom it says something or other game.
oh, I
And they
see.
didn't have it out or anything about I don't even know
Art
what it's
of
about.
Chill game. Now is this like a board game?
I guess. I don't know.
Was it in the board game section of the store or was it
It
in
was on the
the
end of an aisle, so it was by itself.
huh?
There were
Eh,
kitty toys around the corner. In fact, there was this cool little drum set. Basically, this monkey theme. I don't know what the hell it's about. So it was kind of like a jungle drum kit. Of course, it was just a board with some drum pads and a little cymbal thing. So I turned it on and go ding ding, boom.
okay. Uh, it is a board game, as a matter of fact, and I'm just looking up information about it right now. So let me let's it gets a 7.6. I don't know what the scale is there. I'm assuming 1 to 10, but it could be 1 to 100.
Right.
If you
Right. It could that could be decent or it could really suck.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to paint with Bob Ross, you need to be chill. So whoever reaches
Chill.
maximum chill first
Have
is
you ever
Bob
read
Ross.
the Wikipedia story on him?
Oh yeah, yeah, quite interesting guy.
He was a master sergeant in the Air Force and he was always yelling people. So when he left the Air Force and retired, because I think he put in 20 years, he says, I'm never going to yell at anybody again.
Right, and he's
That
even
totally fits his deal. Of course, whoever wrote that up, thought of him that way. Of course, Bob Ross is dead. Oops. Was that a
yeah, he is dead.
yeah.
And he did mention
In case
that.
someone didn't know that.
He did
Yeah.
mention that multiple times on the show that he used to do that and he didn't like yelling at people, and so he got this nice job painting where he could just paint his happy trees. And in the game, each player starts with 3 art supply cards, with each card showing 1 of 7 paints and 1 of 4 tools. Some cards are jokers that serve as any color but no tool. Take one of the large double-sided painting cards, place it on the easel, and place Bob on the first space on the painting track. On a turn, the active player rolls a dice and either draws an art supply card, plays a paint to their palette, receives an extra action for the turn, 4 total, or both draws a chill card and advances Bob on the painting track. Chill cards give all players a bonus. This is like playing a board game about painting. This is kind of like dancing about architecture.
Actually painting?
No, it's a
Or
board
just a
game
virtual
about painting.
thing where you're
Yeah, you got cards that represent your paints and your tools, and you play these cards and you move on the board to simulate the act of painting. Like
so
I
it's
said,
more like poker than
it's
painting.
this is kind of like dancing about architecture.
Okay.
To borrow the analogy, the whole like there was an old saying, talking about music is like dancing about architecture. That's what I'm thinking. Playing a board game about painting. That's I think that falls under the dancing about architecture category.
Right.
But no, I'd try it if there was enough booze in the house one evening and someone else paid for the game. I'd play a round of it.
Oh, how much does it go for? Because I didn't see a price.
You know what? I might have to see if they sell this through Amazon.
Oh, what were you looking at?
I was looking at a board game review site. It could be had for $25.
Not bad.
Yeah. So there you go. If you want to be chill, like Bob Ross,
Chill.
yeah, it's just that simple. Oh man. So how was your day, Brian?
Not too bad. I went to a board meeting at around lunchtime, and they served sandwiches from a local deli. Pretty
Okay.
decent. And looking at some different projects for this is a nonprofit group home for foster children,
Uh-huh.
and they were looking at this facility or this building that could become a facility in the Sacramento area. The good part is that it looks like a perfect building for what we would do with it. The bad part is we're in Contra Costa County. That Sacramento County, they're different. It would require separate licensing, a different license. That could be easy. That could be a pain in the ass. We have a lot of history and work with Contra Costa County. That's where we're comfortable. They know us. We know them. Sacramento County, it could be a pain in the ass. It could be a turkey.
It could be a turkey.
Looks like a turkey to me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah.
so we talked about this, and there was some excitement. But then when reality hits, you go, it could be a turkey.
Yeah, that could be a turkey. Hi, I'm a turkey.
Right.
You like my turkey thing here?
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a new toy here. I could be a turkey. See? I'm a talking turkey. Gobble gobble.
Oh, it talks.
Yeah.
Or you talk.
I'm a turkey, and I'm talking to you. And I'm moving
so where
my
does
head around?
Where does this gadget work from? Whatever.
It's a piece of software you can buy through online stuff.
Spend money on.
Oh yeah, it was half price. It was under $10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you change the animal? Be a different animal?
Yeah. This one. Well, yeah. I could be a dinosaur. Rawr.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. See, I can blink and move my head around.
Can you manipulate the tail?
No.
Or is it just kind of wag randomly?
No, that kind of does its own thing.
Yeah.
I've not dug into the advanced options.
Okay, unlike Mr. Trump, it's got big hands but short arms.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't be accused of being orange.
No, I'm definitely very green, very green.
Definitely.
Yeah,
saves a lot of energy that way.
But I could be a snowman.
Yeah, but it's too warm for that. You'd melt.
You'd
be a snowflake.
Oh man, that's not good. I better find something else to be then. Hey, I'm a smoking frog. Ribbit.
Yeah, with smoking bubbles.
Yeah, I put bubbles in my pipe. Yeah,
it looks more like bubbles.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh, you're amphibious, so bubbles would be the
bubbles. Bubbles is the thing.
Is that your nickname? They call you Bubbles?
Something like that.
Now, do your eyes open that much, or?
Sometimes it thinks my eyes are closed, even though they're not. And
okay.
yeah. The controls aren't quite perfect yet. I haven't
Right.
fine-tuned anything.
Okay.
I could be a creepy-looking dude in a suit. Yeah.
It looks like he's about 60 years old, and he died at age 50.
Pretty much. Yeah. I've been dead 10 years now.
Right. Put some scars on you, and you're a zombie.
Yeah. Pretty much. Hey, you like my hair?
Yeah. Can you change the color of your hair?
No, I can't. But well, will you look at these? Oh wait,
the hair is like always in one eye or the other.
Hey, wow! Will you look at that?
Really?
yeah. This is not creepy at all.
Right. I mean, hey, when is cleavage creepy?
Yeah, something like that.
So there's this video that I watched was basically this photographer challenges other photographers to do videos with odd equipment.
Really?
And so this guy went to this guy that's a filmmaker, an actual filmmaker, and he says, "Okay, I've got these video cameras, and I want you to make a movie." And the guy looks at it and says, "Okay, sure, I'll do that." And so they do this whole episode thing where he's shooting for the movie, and then the guy does the editing and puts together a movie. The secret of it that made it relatively decent, of course, this is kind of spontaneous, is that he laid out a storyline, right? And he put some art effort into it because the camera really did suck.
I see.
It was a fairly low resolution video camera that was built into a Barbie doll. So he's walking around holding this Barbie doll that's the camera. And and the camera lens is well just above the cleavage.
That's a good place to put it.
Right. And then replacing the battery was like, spreading the legs and remove this panel from the inside of the thigh.
Well, yeah, that seems like a natural place to put your batteries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You stick a battery in someplace, right about there is where, I think that's the good.
I mean, it looked like a double A or something like that. And there really weren't much in the way of controls. It was just kind of stop and start. So they would stop and start and do these different things. Hey, it's the internet. There's a cat.
Hey, I'm a cat.
Hey, that one works pretty good.
Yeah.
The voice is slightly delayed, but it's not bad.
I found a calibration button that you push that and it helps things. You got to calibrate your cat,
So the mouth is working pretty good with the voice.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so anyways, today was an interesting day. I'm one of those lucky people that if things aren't working out, I could just say, screw it, I'm staying home because, I'm a cat and cats just stay home.
That's right. And you could poop in the box.
Yeah, I could poop in the box. Yeah, but if I actually get serious for a moment and switch back to my webcam. No, I'm gonna
the webcam.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You can't do that. Now, so is this app designed specifically for YouTube?
No, it's designed. I think people use this when they are doing their video gaming type of stuff. So hey, I'm a cat and I'm playing video games, or stuff like that. Okay. But no. But
recording your video games.
Yeah, or streaming or things like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what people use this for. They use it to,
right. But it does work with YouTube, obviously.
Oh yeah. It works with anything that's going to stream video.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so today last night we got some wind here. And oh my God.
You're passing wind?
Well,
we did that joke in the pre-show, so it still isn't funny.
Well, what happens when I fall asleep? That's between me and the sheets. But apparently it was a bit rough last night, and so this morning I wake up, and it's like, okay, rain, wind. It's not like a major disaster. I wasn't expecting any problems, so I pack up for work and get to the train station. I'm standing there on the platform, grooving them. I'm standing there. Other people are standing there. Well, standing there. I got my umbrella.
Were the grooves on the platform, or that was just you grooving?
I was grooving. I was just doing my head.
But the boards, were the grooves in the boards?
There's probably grooves in boards. I think that's how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
cool. So you're on the platform.
So the train starts coming, and as the train gets closer, we noticed that train's coming on the opposite side. We're all over here. Train's coming in over there. Nice of them to tell us that. So we all have to start walking down under the tunnel to
So
get
you
up
go
to the
down
other
the
side.
stairs, then come back up.
And so I figure, okay, obviously we got a situation here. There's probably a tree came down on the tracks. I mean, how many years have these tracks been in existence? How many years have these trees that are at risk of falling on the tracks been there? How many years has the state had opportunities to clear these trees so that things like this don't happen? But we can't do any actual preparations.
Or trim the trees so they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Does the state do any maintenance on their railway? I mean, I feel like the transit in the state is a fucking joke. They take absolutely no responsibility for the fact that hundreds, thousands of people rely on them to get to their jobs and make money. You think that that's a pretty fucking major responsibility, but they can't. I can't tell you how many times I'm out there and the train doesn't run, or runs late, or things get held up, or the thing is that they have a Twitter account, and the Twitter account is mostly useless. The Twitter account lets you know if something's running like 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late, or a half hour late. Let me tell you, between you and me, anything under a half hour late, I don't care that much about. It's when a half hour has passed and there's still no train and there's still no update that I'm starting to get a little pissed. And that's when they don't really tell you anything. You know?
Right.
It's like we know something's going on. We know conversations are going on between the people that work for this place about what's going on with the trains.
Incidentally, I think it might have been the Bay Area or another place where they got a kid to run the Twitter account, and the notifications went out properly and timely and with information on it. And it was responsive to the riders. And other places were kind of looking at that. Hey, how do we get a kid to do this? He's definitely showing us how it's done.
Yeah. So anyways,
this question, should you have a kid doing an adult's job?
So speaking of breaking wind or passing wind,
you finally picked up, huh? Turkey.
I had that channel muted by accident, and for some reason I didn't see it pop up on the screen. But we got Venison on the line now.
How long was it ringing? 5 minutes?
Probably.
Damn. Venison, no respect. Hey, the Rodney Dangerfield of the show.
So yeah.
I tell you, I get no respect at all. No, nowhere, any time on this network.
So I did go back, and to be fair, they did tweet a little bit about this. The train before my train, they sent a tweet out that train was being held at the next station while they clear a tree off the track, and that they got equipment out there. So I figure, okay, that was like an hour before my train arrived. So they've had an hour. An hour ago, they had equipment out there and are working on getting the tree off the track. So you'd figure that now, if you ask me to get a tree off a track, I'm not going to be able to on my own get a tree off the track in an hour. But if you're a state agency that's responsible for running trains on tracks, and you have professional equipment to handle things like trains on tracks or trees on tracks, I would think that within an hour they should be well on their way to getting the damn tree off the fucking track.
So how many people does it take to go out there with chainsaws and remove that tree off the track?
I don't know.
Probably 50, because you need 3 to actually be there working with chainsaws, and the rest of them to be leaning on their chainsaws.
Which beats leaning on the shovel, because then there's risk of them removing themselves from the gene pool. Which I'm all in favor of, because the world doesn't need more chainsaw leaners.
Okay.
and don't forget, we need to get the daredevil out there that juggles them. Just because.
Oh, one of my favorite channels on YouTube is an outfit that does knife and axes and tomahawks and that sort of thing. and the channel's name is We All Juggle Knives.
There you go.
But the thing is, they've done over 100 videos now, and yet, as far as I know, they don't have a single one where they're actually juggling knives.
Small oversight.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go through all their videos and ask them. By the way, do you have one about juggling knives?
Yeah, you have to ask them. So I get on the train on the opposite platform, and I figure this is a good sign. If the train is on the opposite platform, that means that they have a plan. They're doing something different from usual, which means that they found a way to work around the problem. This is the track that's been cleared, so we're on the clear track, so we should be smooth sailing into Boston, no problem. And then the train departs the station and never picks up speed and just kind of kind of plows along at a slow speed, and then it slows down.
Well, they heard that rhythm that you were listening to earlier.
I suppose, and then
so they want to break that rhythm.
And then as we get into the next town, the train stops and doesn't move anywhere. And at some point, you know, someone starts asking the conductor who comes by, who's not even bothering to check tickets, like, hey, what's going on? He goes, I don't know. I think there's other trains stopped up ahead. And, you know, well, I'll let you know as soon as you know more. And he comes back a few minutes later, goes, we're being sent back to Providence.
No.
We didn't even get to the next station. And it's like, yeah, turn around, go back. It's like, why did you even start this train if you were nowhere close to getting a fucking tree off a track? It's like, let me off the train.
There were more.
You know, we got a train full of manpower here. Let us off the train. We'll go lift the damn thing off the track. If we all work together, we probably could do it. So
now, see, the thing that's interesting in Singapore, if they had a train issue that would, you know, kind of turn into something that's obviously going to be rather involved, the prime minister himself will get involved in the problem and say, hey, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You know?
And the thing about trees, you can...
So do we see any politicians getting involved in this?
I didn't see any politicians out there at, 6 in the morning clearing a tree off the track.
So we're going to hear from it, like if you go into this evening's news, will they even talk about it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Now here's a question: is that line electrified?
Yeah.
Maybe the tree also bring down the wires, which would take a hell of a lot more time.
Well, they should be equipped for that too.
Yeah, but the trains wouldn't be moving.
It takes a while.
The trains wouldn't be moving if there was an issue with wires, right?
Well, they'd be able to move up to a point, I would expect.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
A break.
All right. Well, the point is that it was ill preparation and ill planning to get a bunch of people on a train, not even make it to the next stop, and then turn us all around. Not only are they leaving us high and dry to find our own way to get into a job, which get to our jobs, which means that is going to be a whole lot more cars on the road, so traffic, which is already killer, is going to really be killer. But they also wasted at least an hour of our time that we could have been using finding another means to get into our jobs. Complete lack of respect for us.
Now, when you were stopped at that spot, was anybody allowed to get off the train?
No, we didn't make it to the station.
But so in the middle there, they wouldn't let anybody off.
No, you just it's just train track. There's no platform. You gotta have a platform to get off a train.
Well, I mean, so you couldn't, in an emergency, you couldn't jump off the train?
In an emergency, a conductor would walk us to safety, but you don't.
In an emergency, you'd be jumping out the windows.
That too. No, they don't let you off on track in the middle of nowhere.
And that's the point. So they wouldn't let anybody off. That's all.
Well, it was middle of nowhere. I wouldn't want to get off there anyways.
Well, but maybe someone says, hey, I'm going to get this guy to meet me and pick me up there.
Yeah, well, also,
one less person to be...
Well,
you know.
The thing is that if you're standing on the property that the track is on, not at a platform, you're trespassing on private property. They don't want you on that property. They don't want you standing
Right.
there. You know. So yeah, and
Well, you don't want to get off just to stand there. You would go there and get off the property.
right, but you either got to
Of course,
walk
there's
into
probably a fence there, right?
you got to walk into woods or weeds or forest, or you got to walk along the track to a platform, which they don't want you doing that. It's even
Right.
if they let you off the train, it's not a very good option.
Right.
Unless
Now,
you're
a
pretty,
typical subway will have walkways along the tunnel, so in case there's a problem, people could get out.
right, but even there, they really only want you on those walkways in an emergency, being guided by
Oh,
staff.
sure. Yeah, you can't just get underground and walk along those walkways.
It's the same principle here.
Although-
they don't want.
Although, like even in Singapore, where that would be definitely against the rules and they would enforce it, there are people that get underground and walk along the walkways.
Well, yeah.
They'll get arrested if they get caught, and probably be fined.
Well, someone's got to paint the walls.
Well, I mean, that's also what they're for, is that the workers go in there and do that, but they're authorized.
No, I that's not the type of painting I was talking about. But
Oh, graffiti.
yeah. Of
On a
course.
graffiti, then you would not only be fined, but if you're in the proper age group, you would be caned.
Oh, what if it's a good work of art, though?
Oh, that would not be authorized.
But
You'd be
some
caned.
some people just don't appreciate good.
There were some kids that got up at high in one of these high-rise buildings
Uh-huh.
and painted some graffiti, on the part of the, like the elevator piece that's on the roof, so you could see
The
it. Roof.
Got it.
And did some graffiti, and they figured out who did it, and they arrested him and caned him. Because that's what we do in Singapore. Is
Well,
we cane people.
that's why you don't get caught. If you do
Well,
that.
they thought they weren't going to get caught, but they did.
Yeah. Anyways, so basically, I left the apartment at my normal time at 5:30. I got back to my apartment at the normal time I get to work at 7. So same commute time, but I ended up back where I started. So there was
So
an
you-
hour and a
you
half of
got-
my time
You got home in time
for
to
work.
start working.
Yeah. So
So
luckily,
you wasted an hour and a half.
yeah, I was half
But then
tempted.
you didn't waste an hour and a half because you got to work,
I could have
because you were working at home.
I could have used that time to do stuff before work.
Right.
Yeah, if
Prepare for the show.
yeah, like they could have tweeted out, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
we totally suck. We can't handle a tree. No service this morning. Just stay home or find your own way in." Would have saved a lot of people a lot of time than this jackassery of running trains up to a certain point and then giving up and going.
Well, what would get people really mad in Singapore? Normally, the train service is absolutely perfect. You wait a total of 4 minutes to get the next train. And it's not a schedule, and they just keep coming,
Okay.
right? But the things that get people mad is on the way home from work, once in a while, there would be some trouble. And, the electrical system would go down and the trains aren't running at all.
Oh yeah.
And then they kind of scramble on how to get home, by other ways. A lot of times they'll give you a free pass to take a bus instead. Of course, as soon as it happens, that bus is jammed with people.
Yeah, that's the thing. They didn't even try to run any buses or anything to,
Right.
get from one station to
Right.
the other side of the downed tree. They
Right.
which doesn't surprise me. When it comes to commuter rail, they don't make any efforts to keep that.
Well, of course, part of the thing
there's
is,
no
because there's a tree there are no trains to pick up on the other side of the tree issue.
Well, I think at the end of the day, half the trains are on one end, half the trains on the other, because they do run a morning train from Boston to Providence. I don't think that the first train runs only after. I think there are trains on both sides. I could be wrong, but I think there's trains on both sides. So I think they could, in theory, run a train back and forth on one side and a train back and forth on the other, and run a bus from Mansfield.
Of course, you don't have
Sharon.
a platform that's conveniently between, close to that tree fall area.
Both sides are at fault.
They could have worked something out
Sure.
there.
Oh yeah, but that would take planning.
They got 2 tracks and it's a turnaround point. That you just got to do some. They could have done better than they did this morning if they ran some buses between Mansfield and Sharon to get people to the other side of the tree.
Right.
But it's kind of like there's some mornings, because Providence is not the start of the line. Now the first train comes out of Providence, but there's a few stops past Providence. The end of the line is Wickford Junction.
Yeah.
And I know on some mornings, if there's a bad snowstorm, the first train out of Wickford Junction won't run. And they'll just go like, first train out of Wickford Junction, canceled. And you'll see people on Twitter who are at Wickford Junction waiting for a train like, what the hell are we supposed to do? Where's our train? How are we getting in? And so whoever's running the Twitter account will be like, well, how many of you are there? And they're like, can you get us a bus to Providence or something? Can you get us something over here? And generally they say,
Now,
look.
Providence, Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, the train
So
runs.
Are you living in Rhode Island now?
No, I'm near the border. I don't take the train from Providence, but I'm a few stops from Providence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, there are some mornings where those stops from Wickford Junction to Providence, they get screwed because it's like, well, no, bad weather, we can't get things going, so fuck you. And it's like, you think they could run. There's probably not even that many people. That's an area that a bus probably could accommodate reasonably. I could see it being very reasonable to get some buses out there and run some buses between Wickford Junction and Providence. Do they do it?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you know where the bus depot is?
No.
If the bus depot is 2 hours away, how are they going to do that?
It's Providence. There's buses in Providence. Don't tell me there aren't any buses in Providence.
That they own?
You can get a bus. You rent it. You work out a deal. You're all part of transportation authorities. There's some connection there. You can get a bus to Wickford Junction. If you know it's going to be a rough morning the night before, you move some buses in to be ready.
Is that in the budget?
It's a bus.
But is it in the budget? Because somebody has to pay for it.
For the amount of money they charge us every month to take this train, if they don't have any money to get a few buses out there occasionally when there's a disaster like this, where the fuck are they pissing our money away to?
Well, apparently they didn't have
pay
enough
over
money
$300
to fix the
a
damn
month.
lines.
I pay over $300 a month for this train. I don't get any refund when they don't hold up their end of the deal.
Even you said that there aren't that many people involved. You know what that tells me?
That tells me you only need to run one bus instead of 20.
No. That means that they just don't care.
And they're
only pissed off a couple hundred people.
And
they spent all the money removing trees.
And that's bullshit. No one's owning the responsibility. This company is this operation.
What I'm just suggesting is that they took a calculated, shall we say, risk and reward and said, "Fuck you guys." Hey, it sucks. I agree, but that's what they.
There's no
decided.
sense. They have a responsibility to get people to their jobs so they can make money, and there's just no sense of owning that responsibility. No respect for us at all. They don't give us a clue what's going on.
So, are you going to ask for a refund for that day that it didn't work?
You know what? If I had a refund for every day that I wasn't able to get in on the train or had a delay issue, I might be able to do a little bit of record shopping at this point with that. I think we should be credited for the days they don't run.
Well, I would go to the, where you buy your ticket, or do you buy a ticket from a human?
I buy a ticket from a phone.
Right. But do you talk to a human?
Let me tell you something. let me tell you something. I had an issue one time where
well, simple question first.
well,
Did you talk to a human?
I have talked to a human, and the story will answer your questions.
Okay, all right, let's go.
Basically, the short version is they have a very strict no refund policy. And it took
So if they don't deliver that service, you're screwed.
right. They have a very strict.
So what you want to do is document it on Twitter every single time there's an issue. You tweet them, by the way, and I would really like to get a refund for this day.
This is what you get.
You
when
pay
you
$300
remove
a month. That's worth at least $10, right?
Right.
Or even more, depending on how you count the number of days on it.
Yeah.
You remove regulations, you get screwed.
Well, here's the thing. So they have
this is government run rather than.
From what I gathered, it used to be easy to get a refund on a ticket. Like if you called in and be like, something went wrong, my ticket didn't activate, or I didn't use this ticket,
right.
or it's Monday. The people running the sitting at the computers that were working the system had an option to give a refund to get the person off the phone. And apparently, someone noticed like, hey, my bonus was a little light this month. What's up with the budget? You gave away how much in refunds? And so they decided to make a strict no refund policy and took the button out of the damn program. So one day I go to buy my monthly pass and I'm booping along, and I don't know what happened. I ended up buying a daily pass instead of a monthly pass. And I was like, whoops, well, that sucks. So I went boop, and I bought my monthly pass. And I don't need the daily pass now that I have a monthly pass. And I figure, well, it's in my login. If you see in my login, I bought a monthly pass and I bought a daily pass that's only good within like 30 days. It's obvious that this daily pass is of no use to me, and the money I paid for the monthly pass is, covers me, and I should get refunded for that daily pass that is redundant.
Okay,
and I have no need for.
In the state of California, if you buy a gift card, it can never expire. Shouldn't train tickets, now airplane tickets are different, right? But train tickets should be treated the same. Am I right? Am I right?
I agree with you on this, but keep in mind this is a story about how shitty
so
the system is.
I would tweet that as well.
Yeah. You know who reads these tweets? All the disgruntled train riders that will like it.
So find the politician that gets involved in this and get on his case. Well, in a respectful way, because you want his cooperation to work with you on it.
Anyways,
They don't care.
So yeah. So anyways, I called them up and I explained, hey, I got a situation here.
I think Jonathan's going to be running for train superintendent.
So I called them up and
political position.
I called them up and I explained I bought this day pass by accident, and then I bought the monthly pass. You can see I had the monthly pass, so this day pass is really like a double payment. Could you refund me for that day pass since I have a monthly pass and it's redundant and she goes, well, I don't have an option to do a refund. Well, when you bought that, you clicked on something that agrees to the terms and conditions of no refund. I'm like, yeah, but somewhere in there it probably signs away the right to my firstborn, and I'm not going to have kids, so joke's on you there. But that
right.
I double paid. Give me my money back.
I think it's wrong that they won't give you a refund on that situation, because who knows how that problem happened. Maybe you did it, or maybe something just went south.
But their line is that, and then they kind of act like, well, we have nothing to do with them. We're just the computer company that processes the transactions. And it's like, okay.
I see. So they went to a third party.
Right.
They're a third party
that has no responsibility for it. But if you ask
who does have responsibility?
That's an interesting question, and I got a lot of runaround about that.
And Brian, they're not going to give him that position. Remember, less government.
Right.
anyways, the point is that if you stay persistent enough, and if you're willing to put a few weeks into annoying people on the phone for $20, you'll eventually find someone that has the ability to override things in the system and to give you a refund. Or maybe he just grabbed the 20 out of his wallet and handed it to someone to PayPal me. I don't know. I forget how I got the refund, but all I know is I eventually did get that refund.
Oh, you did get a refund.
It took a lot of doing.
Quit your bitching.
Oh no, it was
in my opinion,
Brian.
Go ahead.
If I had quit my bitching, I wouldn't have gotten that refund.
Well, but now you can quit your bitching because you got your refund. That's all I'm saying.
For that one instance,
the bitching part for getting the refund is fine.
Yes, but what I'm saying,
the process did suck. I agree.
The point of the matter is that they pretty much have a no refund policy that you have to move mountains to get anywhere with, and I don't even know if I could repeat that. I don't know if I just happened to luckily get the right person on the right day that was like, I'm not putting up with this shit. Here's $20.
And Brian, you continue
why don't you go to
process.
Why don't you go to the competition instead?
Well, that would be driving in to Boston and paying way more in parking, or
now,
Uber.
Does your company offer a van pool?
No.
Or have a van pool? Why not? A lot of companies do that.
Pretty much the majority of the people in that building are taking the train in. That's pretty much the only option here if you're not living in the city.
Why don't you talk to somebody in your company to say, hey, it would be a lot better if we had a van pool. Because enough people are coming in.
They can pay for free drinks and pay for free food. Do it.
I'll tell you, when the train runs as it should, it is my preferred option. I sit down, I listen to a podcast, I fall asleep.
You do the same thing on a van pool.
I don't know.
The van pool, one person would be driving the van, picking the other people up, or you would meet someplace.
It's
like
not the
a
same.
carpool lot.
I don't know.
Everybody hops in the van and goes into work.
Yeah, but you have to wake
there would be designated parking spots that you guys wouldn't have to pay for that van. A lot of companies do that.
I don't know. I'll have to check into that. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, suggest it.
Okay, I can suggest it.
I mean, of course, the thing is that let's say you get in van number 12 and you have to be on there at 7 o'clock or whatever it is.
And go a flat tire.
And then you have to leave. Oh, that's it. They'll have AAA. And then when it leaves the building, it'll be, let's say it leaves at 6 o'clock. There's not going to be any variation. Right?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people don't carpool, because they want that flexibility to come and go as they please.
Dune writes in, does the dude check tickets? Yeah, he does check the tickets. And then asks if he ever seen them find a peep without a ticket, what happens? Oh, the dude checks tickets and sells tickets, and I've never seen anyone refuse to buy a ticket or show a ticket. I've seen people buy tickets. Yeah, and they still do it old school with the pad of paper and the clickety click 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 thing that they go through. Click 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 click. There you go. And hold on to that, because that's your return trip right there.
Oh, are you showing a paper ticket?
No. But that is an option, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but what do you do? Do you have a phone thing that he scans, or?
Yeah. My phone actually will display a screen. Here, I could actually show you. Because since I got a monthly pass, I could just bring it up as many times as I want to and not worry about it. So it's an app on my phone, M-Ticket app, and I open it up, and you see a bright. There's a purple screen with a T on it. It's loading, and then I go into my ticket wallet there, and right there is my monthly October pass. I click on that, and we get this
white glow.
White glow. There we go. You see, it's got a clock that shows the time and the date that moves back and forth over a tricolor background, which changes every time I bring it up. That kind of it also kind of glows brighter and dimmer,
Now,
as the things move.
does he have something to scan your phone, or he just looks at it and says, "Okay, you're good"?
He looks at it, and either he just nods at anything that resembles this, or he actually knows what colors should be showing up
So
here.
if you do a screen print and just show them the screen print, will they recognize that it's just a screen print?
One time, I had the app crashed as the guy approached me, and he looks at the thing and he saw that the clock wasn't moving back and forth, and he said, "That's not a ticket, that's a screen print." And I go, "No, it's not a screen print. The app crashed."
Oh, so he's onto that.
Yeah.
I bet you a lot of people try it.
Now, I wonder if you capture a video of it for a few seconds and just bring that up to play on the screen. But like I said, it's different colors every time I open it up, and so I don't know if they're expecting a certain color pattern, and then also, like I said, this is the date and time, so this is real time date and time.
So you'd have to look at another you're sitting next to that's using the app as well. See what colors they are and select that video.
Now, here's the thing:
not that we're endorsing any kind of cheating.
It would take some doing
or
to
stealing, because that would be stealing.
It would take some doing to spoof this, because you'd have to fake the date each day that you create a new one, and then you'd have to know what colors to bring up. You'd basically have to write your own program that could do this.
Right.
You'd have to do about $300 worth of programming, but I don't know. I'm just
the second month is free.
There you go.
It's like the common thing is, it's that first $1 million is the hardest. So what the way to work around that is just start with the second $1 million.
Yeah, if someone would call in right now and give me $1 million. I'll give it back to you as soon as I make another $1 million, and we're good.
Yeah, because that's the easy one. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, I'm actually in the minority. I don't think most people use the phone app, and here's why. 'Cause for $10 more, you could get a monthly pass that also includes light rail and buses in the city. But that's not available
for transfers.
Right, but that's not available via phone because you have to have an actual card.
If you're going to one of the other modes of transportation, this doesn't help.
Right, yeah. Like if I wanted to take the Silver Line
that's brilliant.
Yeah, if I was actually...
Did they sell anything like an Oyster card that looks like a credit card that they swipe?
Yeah, people have these laminated cards under their monthly pass, and usually they're showing them that. And I'd have to buy that at a kiosk at South Station every month if I did that, and I'd have to spend $10 more. It's
so you show that card rather than swiping in on a device that verifies it?
Right, you show them the card, they see the card, they just move right along. Okay. Visual inspection. I mean, on the train, they're not scanning anything. They're just all doing visual inspection.
And so they don't know that the card is expired or not.
Well, the card's got dates printed on it.
Yeah, but on a card like the Oyster card, or the card that Bart uses, right?
No, but this is not. This is
you put money on it, but whatever, and then you use it.
You have to buy.
So looking at it, you can't tell how much money's on it.
This is a card that's only good for a month. You buy a new card every month.
See, that's dumb.
Yeah, this isn't a recharge card and swipe it on something. The commuter rail is I mean, the thing is they do.
I mean, I have a Bart card in my wallet. Doesn't have much money on it, but it's several years old.
Things here are more like New York City. You could buy a card that you swipe through that has a certain amount of money on it that it takes $2 something off each time you take a ride.
Of course, a third world country has a better system than you do.
When you go to a kiosk, you put the card in, you add money, it probably spits out a new. Well, it's like the BART system. It works like the BART system if you buy the paper tickets from the kiosk. But for BART, I had the plastic card that I would have it recharged from my credit card after it would get under a certain amount. I don't know if they have something like that here, but the monthly pass is a new pass every month that has the date printed on it that they can visually verify that this is a good for your commuter rail, and it's got some kind of chip in it that the turnstiles will detect to let you in. And
Of
that's
course,
only
the BART one is a magnetic strip,
all right. But
which,
unless you have like the BART card that's refilled with your credit card, that was not a magnetic strip. That was a sensor.
right, with a chip, yeah.
Right. So you got
But a
both
chip
options.
is newer technology than what BART uses.
Right, and
Right.
no, BART will let you in with those.
With a chip?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they got sensors to
Well,
take those cards.
like I say, mine is several years old, so I'm probably behind the times, but I would assume that it still takes my card.
Oh, they take the magnetic strips. They take the ones with the chips.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they're flexible.
yeah, because they introduced those cards that work in BART and the buses and
Right.
everything, all one card. You don't have one of those?
No, I haven't taken the train in a long time.
I see. Yeah,
I have picked a guy up from the train station, in the last year, right?
Yeah, well, okay. So that's the closest you've come to taking
Right.
a train.
in quite a while.
Was swinging by, picking me up so he could go knock on Mars's door.
Right, exactly. And hey, Mars, if you're listening, see, we just mentioned you.
We just mentioned Mars. Yes.
And I don't think he responded to the tweet that I did with him with some pictures.
Oh, that's too bad.
Did you notice
He
that?
didn't respond to my tweet either.
He hasn't been tweeting
He
lately.
doesn't like us anymore.
He doesn't like anyone anymore.
I
I
know.
thought you liked that.
I hope he's okay because we all like him.
Well,
Uh-oh.
we could call him.
Yeah, let's call him.
Let me pull up his number here and we'll give him a call.
But you didn't notice my tweet though, because I didn't put you on it.
Oh, I think I saw it, but I didn't really stop to look at it because it was, just Sailor Moon stuff. All right, let's look under S for Sir. There we go. Sir Mars. Okay. All right, so that's his number. So now let's go ahead and
This ain't working.
let's see if this week Skype will let me add a call to the conference
Without throwing everybody else
without
off.
throwing everyone else off. Probably not. Let's see if I have him saved as a contact in here. We're just let's. Well, no, that's a Skype account. All right, let's. Oh, it's not letting me do that. Oh, come on, show me my call. I tell you, Skype gets worse and worse every day.
So let's ask the device.
Uh,
Alexa, how far is Mars?
Mars' distance is 48,700,000 miles, 78,300,000 kilometers.
oh wow! It let me add it to the group call.
Cool.
Let's see what we get here. Any ringy dingies yet? I get some 3 dots animating. Venison's background noise disappeared, which means either something.
Did we hang up on him?
Either something stopped working or he muted. Huh. Venison, are you still there? Okay, call failed.
Ooh.
Call failed again. Call failed immediately. Oh. And now Venison hung up.
Oh, dang.
Oh, here, we'll call everyone back. At the same time.
Right.
Venison's not online,
Group ring.
but it's still trying to call Mars, I
Right.
think.
He probably saw that we had about a half a second of dead air. So he says, well, I guess it's over.
All right. Well, now we're trying to call directly. Oh,
Do you like that
Your call has
robotic
been forwarded.
language?
Static voice message system
boom.
is
I was
not
not expecting
available.
that to happen that
At
quickly.
the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Oh, sure.
We did not get your message either because you were not speaking or because of a bad connection. To disconnect, press 1. To record your message, press
It doesn't
2.
like it doesn't like that here.
2.
At the end of your message, press 1.
Hi. Brian picked that moment to not talk. He's been nothing but chatty the whole episode, but as soon as someone says, talk now, not a word. Not a word.
No.
And then we had to press 2. But I think Brian's catching on now that now you should talk. So now you tweeted about Sailor Moon, right?
No, I tweeted about a new toy that I got.
Oh.
Hey,
Oh, okay. Google.
Unfortunately, I don't have that device in this room, so it doesn't know how to respond.
So you're completely not prepared this week.
No. Well, I just didn't move it into the room. I set it up in the other room, and I left it there.
Okay. Well,
Ooh.
why don't you grab it on your way to the phone? And yeah, I know, Mars. This is a pretty lame message, but if you've hung if you're still listening,
Right.
thank you. And yeah, call in, or we'll keep leaving you voicemails. Bye. There we go.
So I got a Google Home Mini is my new device.
Oh, what does it do?
And well, it's very much like the Echo Dot. So it's a small object about the size of a donut, like with the hole in the middle, or without the hole in the middle, however you want to look at it. Anyway, so my intent is to get another microphone and set that up in here as well, and then we could ask both devices various questions, such as what we did a minute ago.
Yeah, exactly. Or we could try to get them to talk to one another.
I've been wondering if they could do that. That would be an interesting project.
Yeah, I love it.
They would have to use the have a conversation and end with the or including the the activate word, right?
Mm. There's a page that's like a some kind of like a artificial intelligent conversation page. I forget what it was called now. Conversation automated computer bot. Let's see what those Cleverbot. Cleverbot.com. You could like if you say hi and then it goes, "How are you doing?" Good, thanks. And Coolio.
No, but it's text. It's text, not
right.
Right.
But here's the thing. I'm going to open up a second cleverbot.com. So I did this whole, hi, how you doing? Cool, thanks. Good, thanks. And then he wrote back Coolio. So I'm going to type Coolio over into my second Cleverbot window, and we're going to relay a conversation back and forth here and see where this conversation goes.
So you're going to read both of the voices, shall we say?
Yes. This is a little lame, but we didn't prepare this. This
Right.
is, and I just realized opening up a new tab still shows me the same conversation.
Meanwhile, as you're waiting it to come up, Alexa, tell us a knock-knock joke.
Knock knock. Who's there? Ask. SQ? No, the door looks straight on this side.
Okay, so I wrote, yeah.
That's a bad joke.
That was awful. So now, in response to Coolio, Cleverbot has said, "What is your name?" I won't tell. Why not? Oh, we actually have a real conversation going on here.
All right.
Because you are a bot.
Oh.
No, I am human. If that's true, what's your name? Not bad. Well, that's a weird name for a bot. What did you do today? Yeah, this conversation is getting a little awkward now. I am at school. At the age of 16? See, we never said what the age was here. This intelligence. So, no.
Why would it still be at school? On the West Coast, it's 6 o'clock
Yeah, well,
p.m.
This is
So you still be at school?
Cleverbot bases all its responses on past conversations like this. We are actually feeding, if we were making up our own lives, we'd be feeding new responses into Cleverbot. So its responses are often irrelevant to time or location.
Okay. So you want to feed a lot of strange questions.
Right.
Like what time is it in Siberia?
Well, then what is the truth? I'm Afghan girl. Oh, wait, we got an Afghan girl. Do you like cooking? I don't know how to cook. So we got an Afghan girl who doesn't know how to cook. So why should I? Which we never said you should. Because it is your job. Which is just a logical response to, so why should I? What do you mean by love? You are not human. Yeah, I think we've seen that line before. Yes, I am. Are you? I thought you were a boy. I'm a girl robot. All right, so we got an Afghan girl and a girl robot is what we've got here. Yeah, this is not working out good. Now, do you have anything weird you want to say to it to try to get a funny response? Because this is getting boring already.
I'd have to think something. I can't. Gotta think of something fast. What kind of smartphone do you have?
I don't wear any socks.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is not looking like the intelligent thing they build it to be once upon a time.
Right.
Why not? Because there's so much pain. What from? How do you know it is stupid? Say what? That you're not a boy. All right, let's think of what's a funny line we could say. I'm gonna say crayons taste like purple. Yes, you're delicious. No, I'm not. It tastes like green. That's good, because now I don't want to eat one. Eat it. Who's your favorite singer?
Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne Barr. Is that with one R or two?
Two.
Okay. What have you been up to? Talking to cheeseburgers. Well, that is funny. Okay, we actually have some intelligence here. All right, Cleverbot sucks. That was a waste of time. So, you bought your Google toy, and have you had any fun with it yet?
I just set it up and tried a couple of things. Neither device understands something as simple. Oh, tell me about the latest earthquakes. And it doesn't know how to respond to it.
That's when you'd think that, it should be able to respond to.
Right. Alexa, what's the temperature in Houston, Texas?
Currently, in Houston, Texas, it's 72 degrees with clear skies. Tonight, you can expect cloudy skies moving in and out, with a low of 64 degrees.
Do we have a problem, Houston?
I don't know. Anyways, now you're all set for your trip to Houston.
Right, if I was going.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a useful question then.
Right. Actually, my wife is there.
Oh. Oh, that's why you were checking. So that way you don't have to ask her
No,
what the
it was
weather
it
is.
was it was random actually. And the Super Bowl, I mean, the World Series is over now. Do you know who won?
Um. That baseball team.
Which one?
Um.
Or do you know
The.
who was playing?
Um.
I'm taking it the Yankees didn't play
I don't
because you
think
would have
the.
known.
I probably would. Yeah, I don't think it was the Yankees.
Who
But
did the Yankees lose to so that they couldn't get into the
I.
Super Bowl?
I don't know. I don't follow sports. But
They
whatever
lost to
team.
the Astros.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
I knew.
I don't even follow baseball.
Well, I knew it was a team that wears a uniform.
Right. And anyway, the other team that went to the Super Bowl, you
Super
needn't
Bowl.
think that's funny. Right, exactly. The World Series
Uh,
was the Brooklyn Dodgers.
oh, okay. Wait, but
Because to me, we
um,
keep them with the original name.
but they haven't been in Brooklyn since like. Wait, were they in Brooklyn when you were born?
I have no idea. They probably moved in the 30s. We need to have Venison online. He would know. Venison,
would
call back. Maybe he went to watch this TV show.
that could be.
He
No,
kind of goes, yeah,
I-
because that was
His
it's-
connection dropped. He's not online. His connection just died.
he probably went to watch his TV show and didn't
It-
tell us.
Yeah, probably was pulling up a VHS tape of the World Series from a year that the Yankees won, and is queuing that up right now. And there we
Right.
go. That's this year's World Series. We'll just borrow one from a better year.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, no, for me, it's annoying, because they insist on continuing to carry on this tradition of taking a perfectly fine schedule that you run your life by and fucking it up every chance they get for sports. And I am so tired of being a second-class TV viewer because, every night at 11:30, Colbert comes on.
Right.
Except Thursdays, because someone decided that we should put football on Thursdays. And so
No, you
every
watch
Thursday,
Colbert or do you watch Conan?
No, I watch Colbert.
Do you watch Conan at all?
I don't get TBS, and I don't feel like paying extra for TBS.
Oh, well,
I
that
cou-
sucks. Okay.
I could stream him, but then I would need to I'd need to set up a computer in the bedroom and all that stuff, and then click.
That way you could watch him with no pants on.
I'll be honest with you. Conan was better when he was doing the late show, or
Right.
the later show,
Sure.
the original the slot he was on.
So this whole fiasco with Leno screwed it up. You're saying.
Well, the thing is that I think Conan probably could have grown into something on NBC, but
Yeah.
he lost a lot of things when he left NBC, and I don't know. I haven't been as into it as I was in the
Sure,
days
sure.
before all that happened.
Well, and Colbert's good. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
And you know what the real
Right.
problem was?
Even
with the
my
whole
wife prefers Colbert over Fallon.
yeah.
I mean, she wouldn't even look at Conan.
I guess
She wouldn't deal with him.
I guess I don't like Fallon by proxy because, in my opinion, he doesn't belong there. Conan should still be there. So it's not Fallon's fault that Conan's not there, but he's
Sure.
in the wrong spot, so he still kind of gets
Sure.
my anger.
Sure.
So I won't watch him.
Yeah. And actually, to me, Fallon is okay. Colbert is better.
Yeah.
But I think the Roots band that's with Fallon is better.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
better band.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you kind of go, and then I look at who's the guest.
Oh, I'm
Even
fast
Colbert
asleep by
has
the-
decent guests now and then.
I'm fast asleep by the time the guest comes out. I'm watching the monologue and the bit.
Oh, you watch the monologue and then click it off.
Well, I don't even know. I set the TV to sleep, and and if there's a good guest, I say to myself, this is the guest I'm staying up for, and then fast asleep. Now, here's the other thing that really pisses me off, because the whole Thursday night football shouldn't have to throw off my schedule, because I don't stay up to 11:30 since I got to be up at 5 in the morning.
Right.
So I set my DVR on my computer to DVR Colbert every night, and I watch the previous night's Colbert every night. So when football pushes back
It screws up the
Colbert,
schedule on you, and so you
if
don't get it.
if CBS would update their listing or whatever's feeding this thing so
Right.
that you know that football run that late and Colbert starts
So why don't
half
you
an hour
switch
later.
to Fallon for the football season?
And no, I just because I still have I still have about
So
three or
who watches? Who's after Colbert?
I stopped caring about that slot after the Scottish
Right.
dude left. What's his
Oh,
name? Ferguson. Great. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
which I don't get why he left. You know, he had a good thing
Yeah.
going there. I don't know. Was
Is
he
it
just
James Corbin or whatever?
some
after?
British dude that I just don't think is funny.
Right. And apparently, Larry the Cat, the British, that I guess owns 10 Downing Street, where the Prime Minister is the butler,
Okay.
said that they suckered the Americans into taking him. Apparently,
Okay.
he wasn't liked there.
Yeah,
He did this joke that a lot of people thought was awful about what it had to do with Harvey asshole.
okay.
Fuck you up your ass.
I see.
And in fact, I saw that joke and I said, that's just not funny, but whatever.
Yeah, well, this
I'm
guy,
over it.
I don't
But
know
a lot
how
of
this
people-
guy got in there. I don't know how because he's not funny. There's nothing
But so-
remarkable about him. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah,
seriously.
he's a douchebag. Yeah.
You took
Yeah.
Craig Ferguson, who was zany, doing something
I
unlike
liked
anything
him,
else
yeah,
before,
right.
was gaining a following, and you threw a fat British guy.
See, the thing is that we have this obsession with the British actors and comedians.
I don't get it.
It's bizarre.
We need Craig Ferguson back, and I don't know. Was he pissed off for not being considered as Letterman's replacement? Was there? I think it's all.
I have no idea.
It's been
I never heard.
denied. It's been denied,
Right.
but I think there's something
Yeah.
to it because he actually did have some kind of a takeover clause that, in the event of the type of thing that is easy to weasel out of, because he's
Right. Now, do you like Seth Meyer that's on after Fallon?
I've not been watching what's on those slots in forever,
Yeah.
so
I kind of like him. He's not great, but
from what I've heard about him, he sounds like the type of thing I'd like, and I've got interest in checking it out, but I've never gotten as far as doing that.
right.
I think he's got promise, and I think we'll be seeing him up and coming unless
Right.
Fallon becomes the new Leno and just never goes away. Because Fallon's pretty young, I think. He's still young, isn't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So he could hold on to
he
that
could
spot
be there for a long time.
he
Absolutely.
could be the next Leno or Carson that just kind of just doesn't move,
Right.
and overstays his welcome. Or, well, not that Carson overstayed his
Right.
welcome, but Leno certainly did. But no, you know what the whole thing was between the Conan and Leno thing? Leno really just put himself into a position that they couldn't get rid of him. That was the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
Because I read a book all about it, and the book goes into like what's going on with other people. Like Jon Stewart was of interest
Sure.
in the late night circuit at periods of time, and he was being held by one of the networks, and then he somehow ended up on getting the Daily Show instead. And it's
Right.
interesting, this all these people that and I mean.
John Oliver would be good.
Yeah, I mean, and they talked about what happened between Kimmel and Leno and why that all fell apart. Because what happened was
Yeah.
Leno, when Leno felt like he was being fired, which, yeah, he was. That's what was happening. And he was like,
Right.
but I've got the ratings and I'm doing a good job. Why are they firing me? Oh, woe is me. It's
Right.
like, dude, take your fucking millions of dollars and go piss off somewhere. You
Right.
know, you're
Hey, you
you're-
could have a show on CNBC
but he, you know, he
and do a car show,
you know, which he does. But you know, he's the
which isn't that good.
yeah, but he's got that whole I tell jokes at 11:30 on TV. That's what I do. That's what and it's like, yeah. So
Right.
he decided that if NBC wasn't going to let him tell jokes at 11:30 on TV, he would do it on ABC. And so ABC was in serious talks with Leno to give him a show to go up against Conan and Letterman. And so NBC wanted to stop this at all costs. They didn't want Leno to go to ABC.
Yeah.
But while these negotiations are going on, Leno was making phone calls with Kimmel, because Kimmel was over on ABC. So he was kind of going buddy-buddy with him, and they were having some good talks like they were friends. And then once the deal fell through and they decided to keep Leno at the 10 o'clock show, the phone call stopped. So that's why Kimmel went all off on Leno the way he did, because he felt like he was such a phony, pretending to be his friend, and then all of a sudden when, you know, hey, I'm not going to be on ABC, well, fuck you, you know. So, but the thing is that a lot of times when you get a contract, it's a pay or play contract, which means that if they don't like your show, they don't have to air it. I mean, they still have to pay you, but they don't have to pay you to do a show. They could put you on ice and just, you know, you can't do anything. And Leno absolutely did not want to do nothing. So he stipulated that his contract was a pay and play contract, that he had 2 years and they couldn't cancel him, or they would be in breach of contract, and then they'd go to court. And so when his show failed miserably, the only way they could cancel him was to work out a deal that Leno would agree to. So they couldn't fire Leno and send him off, or Leno would come back and sue. So that's why Conan got screwed, because Conan didn't have that in his contract, whereas
Right.
Leno, so it was either keep Leno on for 2 years with the show that was stinking up the joint, and all the news networks are, you know, getting ready to rebel
What they
against
should
this.
have done is paid him off with a clause, with a no compete clause, which
But-
would have stopped him from going to ABC. Go
No.
do something else. Not that. Hey, you want to do this car show?
No,
Why
but
don't you do that?
Leno had him by the balls. The whole
Right.
point of this was that Leno would not agree to a no compete. Leno wanted to
Right.
tell jokes at 11:30 on TV, and if NBC wasn't going to let him do it, although he grudgingly agreed to 10,
Right.
if NBC wasn't going to let him do it, then he'd go do it somewhere else. He wasn't going to get himself in some kind of a deal that they could put him on ice. It wasn't about the money. It was about doing a show.
Right.
And there was lots of reasons why the 10 o'clock show failed. The format just was a shitty format because...
Well, or they could have just paid him and had him on permanent vacation
No, like I said, you've not
until
been
the
listening.
contract ran out. Yeah.
You've not been listening to me. The contract stipulated that they couldn't do that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Right. Typically, that the way the contract works is that, yeah, you're on the contract, yeah, you get paid, but they don't have to air your show. Leno worked out a deal that they had to air his show. They couldn't put him on ice.
So the
So,
flip side is that we don't have to watch it.
right. So the only way they got rid of the 10 o'clock show was to make Jay Leno happy. And the only way to make Jay Leno happy was to let him tell jokes at 11:30. And that's why Conan got screwed. Because they wouldn't,
Right.
Leno wouldn't back down. Leno wouldn't do the graceful thing. Leno was basically, I want to tell jokes at 11:30 on TV, and I don't give a
Right.
shit who's back. I got to stab to do that.
Right.
Sound like another network I was on.
Right.
What network was this?
It was back in the old days. That's pretty much the same thing. Somebody wanted to get on the air, and it didn't matter to him who we screwed over, and we lost the show.
That reminds me.
In that period while you were off, Venison, what were you watching?
Wasn't watching anything. I had a major crash over here.
Oh,
Everything
that
was
sucks.
crashed and burned.
Yeah, that's why Brian thought you were going to watch TV. I'm like, no, dude, his internet crashed.
No, not the internet. Computer.
Oh, better yet.
Fucking Firefox, man.
All right, we're both. Oh, why? What are you using Firefox for? That's yesterday's browser.
Right.
Yeah, and what's today's?
Opera.
Opera.
That's what I'm using.
Actually, every time I turn on Firefox, a little pop-up comes up and it says, "Oh, this thing's really bad. You should be using Microsoft Edge."
Oh God, I
never
much
get any of
secure.
those.
you know what? To be honest, my guess would be that Chrome is the more popular browser of the day, but I have a bias against Chrome. I'm using Opera.
So do I.
But
Okay.
Firefox has been systematically destroying their browser, and if you
Sure.
go into
Oh,
a chat
God.
room of developers and tell them this, they don't agree with you. I've tried to
Right.
address this in their chat room point by point.
This
Why?
thing gets memory clogs like you wouldn't believe. I mean, I get on a web page, click a few times, click on something else, it starts to lock up, then it locks up completely. Then go into Task Manager, to like stop it. It's like using
Well-
1.8 gigs of RAM.
Well, you see here, you're still using Flash, and you really don't want to use Flash because that's really outdated. So you
Oh,
really,
bullshit.
I'm mocking the developers in their chat
Yeah,
room.
I know.
Right.
They've completely.
But they're right, though. You need to get
No,
off the
have
Flash.
no problem.
Oh, sure.
No problem with Flash.
I'll just go hack every website that has Flash on it and take down the Flash parts
That's
of their
right.
sites.
And
then.
you'll replace it all with HTML5, right?
Here's the thing: if Flash sucks, if Flash is the problem, how come Opera doesn't crash as bad as Firefox does every time I go to a site that's got something Flash on it?
Right.
Yeah, Flash
didn't
might
even have
suck,
Flash.
but Firefox is totally just screwing. I don't know what they've done to their browser, but every update gets worse. They've
Right.
completely lost touch.
Oh, yeah.
They are yesterday's browser. I believe that was the phrase that got me kick banned from the room. But I hold to that. So you got a phone call coming in. Oh, you
And
don't
I
want to
hung up on him.
Oh, you should put him on the air.
No, it's probably just a robot.
Ah,
Oh, I
wow.
got the best robot ever.
yeah?
So this robot calls, and it has this voice, and it says, "Oh, hi, robot. How are you?" And it responds, "Oh, I'm fine." Oh, wait. So what do you got for me? And then goes into the sales pitch, and I go, "Oh, that's really nice, but I'm not interested. Would you take me off your call list?" And it says, "Yes, okay, we'll take you off the call list."
That was easy.
Unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
He lies.
Now that's an intelligent robot, right?
Yeah.
It lies.
Probably lied,
Probably.
but he made you feel good
The
about
robot
it.
knows that they got a human, so
Yeah.
it's probably selling my name to that guy that just called that I hung up on.
Yeah.
No,
So you
wait,
hit the
real
answer
quick
button
now.
and then you
Real,
hang
real
up.
quick now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go back to the Opera browser.
Okay.
Now then, when you get on Twitter using Opera, are you able to play all those little Vine videos and animated GIFs and what have you? Does the Zoom video on Twitter?
Well, right now I'm watching Elizabeth Warren talk about something on Twitter, and it's buffering.
To FHA and cost the government millions
Okay.
of dollars. And then soon after,
And it's buffering. All right, so it kind of sucks for that.
All right. Well,
You
then
guys
again,
do-
you're right.
You guys
a lot of stuff
do
here.
Twitter with a browser?
Yeah.
I rarely
Yeah.
do. I'm almost
I
always using the
abuse it
Twitter app
'cause-
on the phone.
I haven't found an app yet that I really like because something's missing, always missing from one of them.
Right.
There's something you can't do or something that you can't see.
I've had enough of Firefox, and I said, no more. I'm not putting up with this anymore. I am so done with Firefox. I don't care. I will not use Firefox anymore. And so
Right.
I have Chrome installed to do streaming because since Hangouts works best with Chrome since it is a Google product. But for my normal browsing and everything, I use Opera.
Yeah.
Now-
Chrome, I don't know.
Now, did you ask the
Chrome, I have
Firefox
a thing
people?
against.
Did you ask the Firefox people before you got banned? Is there a way to export your shortcuts and favorites
Oh, I don't need
into
to ask
another
them.
browser?
Hey, it did it automatically, I think. I forget how
Okay.
I did it. But
When you
or
go
I-
into when you set up Opera, it took them over or brought them in.
Either it took them over or from Firefox I exported it to an HTML and imported it that way in Opera. I don't remember. All I know is I did get them over there, and it's not hard to do.
Okay.
Really, I saved the file.
Exporting, importing bookmarks between browsers is pretty basic stuff. If you could put paper in a paper tray, you should be able to transfer your bookmarks.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
It's called Save the Bookmarks, leave the HTML file in there, and then use it
So
wherever.
I was talking to a person that, let's just say this person is technical,
Okay.
and I said, "Oh, do you ever use these, like newspaper or TV station news apps on your iPhone?" And it says, "Yeah, I installed one, and there were all these pop-ups, so I just deleted it." And then I says, let's see, don't you know how to go into the notification settings and turn those off? I mean, after all, dude, you're a programmer.
Oh, we're
Actually,
talking
I didn't add that part, but
about, so we're talking about Nick.
yes, well, duh.
I bet you use Fox News.
Oh, definitely not.
Definitely.
Do not
Now,
say
his
Fox.
brother probably does, but he does not.
And Nick will tell you all the reasons why he doesn't like this brother that will post right-wing political stuff on Facebook.
Right,
And
right.
Nick,
yeah.
Nick gets fired. If we got Nick and Dune in the same room at the same time,
That's right. There would be clawing at eyes.
there'd be a bullet in someone's head by the end of that conversation.
right.
And only one of them's going to have a gun. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Because these liberals are just fucking stupid.
Not that
They're not getting it yet.
And I say that completely in jest because
Of
dude
course.
would never even brandish his gun towards
Right.
someone over an argument.
I
There
was
might
thinking
be
of
some
starting a
punches thrown.
campaign. I was thinking of starting a campaign for liberals. Hey, get over it. The conservatives will never change their mind about guns. So what I'm going to do is tell you, go out and get a gun.
The thing is, at this
And
point,
that will scare the conservatives unbelievably, and they
You-
might think differently.
you know what? I think people have made the argument that if like a black person walked into the hotel with the stockpile of weapons that
Right.
that guy walked in with, they would not have been cool with. Yeah, if liberals
Right.
went out and bought guns all of a sudden,
Oh yeah, they would shot
Right.
him.
that would draw attention all of a sudden.
Right.
but
Now,
No,
okay,
because
okay.
you can't tell who's a
okay,
liberal
listen,
or not.
hang on this. So we have a lot of blacks that are convicted of crimes and sent to prison, and a lot of them are felony offenses, correct?
right,
And it's more than it should be.
yes,
And maybe this is a conspiracy theory, but the whole reason behind that is if you are convicted of a felony, you are not allowed to own a gun. Am I
Nope.
right? Am I right? Does that make
No.
sense?
No.
That
No.
I
I mean,
see
it's
Not
wrong.
now.
What do you think, Venison?
Not now.
Well, there is the
Remember-
gun show loophole where they
No,
don't do background
remember
checks.
now, they passed a law saying that if you were convicted felon, but you've been released from jail, you've been rehabilitated, you're allowed to buy a gun.
Oh well.
Everybody is allowed to buy a gun.
well,
Okay. When did that happen, Venison?
Well, all you gotta do is develop a mental illness, because we hand guns out to the mentally ill, no problem.
Well, that's the next step. But Venison. So when did that change?
Not too long ago.
Okay, because I watch episodes of Dog the Bounty Hunter. Of course, these are, I mean, he hasn't had a show in a few years, and throughout the show, the theme is Dog the Bounty Hunter does not carry a gun or own a gun because he was convicted of a felony, and that is a fact.
Oh, that was years ago.
Of course, when he goes out with his team, and his team members are, his relatives, they all carry guns, but he does not.
All right, let's look up the.
And I think his wife was also convicted of a felony, so she doesn't carry a gun.
In 1960.
Yeah, well, this happened,
all right,
past year or so.
Let's get the facts here.
Yes, Mr. Factmaker.
I pulled this up off the internet, and
because it's true,
and it's dated from 2014. But so disclaimers there.
Early.
In 1968, the U.S. Congress passed the Gun Control Act, and it was signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson. One of the primary purposes was to further regulate interstate transfer of firearms. Also reinforced existing federal laws that made it illegal for a felon to own a gun. Although Congress already passed the National Firearms Act of 1934, which made it illegal for felons convicted of a violent crime to own a gun, the Gun Control Act expanded the prohibition to include all felony crimes. Despite the intention of the Gun Control Act to prohibit felons from owning guns, there are some loopholes that allow felons to circumvent federal law. A 1965 amendment to the Federal Firearms Act of 1938 allows felons who want to own a gun the ability to apply for relief from the disability of not being able to possess a gun. If the felon can convince the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms that the circumstances surrounding the crime and subsequent felony conviction were such that the felon should not be considered a public safety risk, then the felon may be granted the right to legal gun ownership. Number 2, according to the Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence, in order to be prohibited from owning a gun, a convicted felon must have been convicted of a crime that is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year. Although even the least serious felony convictions carry a sentence of up to 3 years, sentencing guidelines are open to the interpretation of judges. Thus, while it will be rare for a felony conviction sentence to be less than 1 year, it is not impossible. Number 3, according to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, felons whose convictions have been set aside or expunged, or for which the person has been pardoned or has had civil rights restored, are not considered convicted, and thus they would be prohibited, and thus would not be prohibited from owning a gun. 4, certain white-collar crimes that resulted in a felony conviction don't prohibit those felons from owning guns. For example, felony convictions related to antitrust laws, restraint of trade, or unfair trade practices do not carry the same prohibition on gun ownership, even if the conviction results in imprisonment for more than a year. Number 5, some states will reinstate a felon's right to own a gun after they have served their sentence or gone through a period of cleansing. For example, according to fine law, nonviolent felons in Minnesota state law provides that a felon can legally own a gun as soon as they have finished serving their sentence. In Louisiana, state law provides that after a cleansing period of 10 years in which a felon has not been convicted of an additional felony, their rights to own a gun may be reinstated. So from what I'm seeing here, for the most part, if you're convicted of a felony, you're probably not going to be able to own a gun. But there are,
that's right, during those times.
There are some exceptions to the rules.
But that was modified in 2016.
2016, okay. Now, Dog the Bounty Hunter probably applied for that exception, but he did serve, I don't know how many years, but several years in prison for the felony conviction of murder. So he actually killed someone. So maybe they won't let him carry
That's
a gun.
Going to be a tough one.
Even
though
even though his job is something that suggests that he might want to have a gun,
he might want to.
He's in that business.
He might want to get a PO box in Minnesota and claim residency there or something. I don't know. But then again, you can't just cross.
Well, he's not resident. Well, Yeah, he's a resident of.
Maybe
Well,
in some
he's a
states you
resident
can.
of Hawaii, but they also have a house in Colorado, and the show is shot either in Hawaii or in Colorado. Kind of jumps back and forth.
I see. All right, I don't know. I'm
man.
not seeing some new 2016 legislation, but there could be.
Yeah, or maybe 2015.
And again,
but it's one of those.
I think his show ended in 2014.
Okay. Basically, from what I'm seeing, it's a rare exception for a felon
Right.
to be able to.
Yeah,
own
because it happened
a gun.
right around the time when they, also allowed the mentally ill, people released from a mental institution,
Right.
and blind people to own guns.
Well, I have no problem with blind people owning guns. That's
Right.
I'm in favor of that.
You are.
Yeah, why not?
I've always been in defense for that because, when you're in town and somebody sits there and comes up with a gun and try to shoot you, and you try to shoot back, yeah.
Which direction
could
do you
be
point your gun?
You could get a smart
Yeah.
gun with an app on it that left, right, pull.
Or I mean, cameras have autofocus. How about auto aiming for a gun?
Auto aiming, yeah, an auto aiming gun for the blind.
Yeah, okay. That would be interesting.
Yeah. It's like I always said, they should. Nowadays, they have self-driving cars, and the blind could use those. But before we were even thinking about that in college, one night drinking, my roommate came up with the idea of a talking car for the blind that would basically tell them, what way to turn, or if there's a light up ahead, or yellow light, you got a 75% chance of making it. Push on the gas, or Of course, if your car says, "Oh shit," you're in trouble. You might want to get into crash position, because that's just not good if the car starts swearing.
Or just sit back and let the airbag save your life.
Yeah, there is that.
Damn, I thought I had
right,
this
we covered it.
listed. Shit.
Oh, what else?
Of course, I don't save every piece of news about him. It'd be too much.
Anyways, where were we? So yeah, guns, politics, and
computer apps that you don't know how to turn off the notification.
yeah. Oh, that's right. We were talking about Nick. Oh well. Yeah. So I tell you, I have no idea what the process of buying a house entails, and I have no idea at what point I'm going to feel confident or comfortable that it's time to do that. But I know that I'm never going to get familiar with the process if I don't start doing something. And I figure, you know what? It doesn't hurt to start looking at houses and pretend like I am.
Okay. Actually, step one is, do you know how much mortgage you can afford?
I have an idea.
And I don't need a number if you know.
I have an idea.
Because you can go to a mortgage app and plug in the numbers and say, oh, here's the monthly payment.
Yeah, I have an idea. I have an idea of that.
So then you want to know what area you want to live in, correct?
I got some ideas there.
Okay. So find a realtor that works in that area, not just any schmucker that seems like a nice guy. Because I get all kinds of realtors that talk to me about, oh, yeah, I can help you there. Oh, but do you know this neighborhood? No. Well, then
yeah,
have a nice day.
Well, here's every now and then.
So that step is you find that realtor and work with that realtor.
Let me tell my story, and then he can give me tips, and then he can tell me all the things I'm doing wrong, and then point me in the right direction. So phase 1, Gators demonstrates his stupidity. Phase 2, Brian demonstrates his smarts.
Yeah.
Phase 3, cake.
Let him eat cake.
All right.
I forgot about cake.
Every now and then, I go on Zillow.com or Realtor.com.
Zillow's a good place.
Kind of gauge what's on the market and what areas, what they're pricing at, what's more affordable. And Massachusetts is not exactly an affordable housing market. But then again, I feel like it is an affordable housing market because I spent many years living in California where there was just no way in hell that was going to happen. Right. There was just no way.
But a lot of people that have less money than you go out and buy houses.
Yeah, but not in California.
No, in California, sure, absolutely.
No. I mean, now in the middle of this country, where there's a whole lot of nothing going on, if you like hanging out with wheat fields, there's plenty of houses for me to be had there. I won't be able to.
And they're cheap.
Yeah, but I also won't be able to.
You don't have a job.
I won't have a job, and I'll be living in a red state, so I'll be miserable.
Right.
You know. So fuck.
Well, you can live in Chicago and just hope you don't get murdered.
Yeah. Chicago can keep their big beer jelly bean.
Right. Do we want to get back into the gun issue about Chicago?
No, let's not.
Okay,
Let me tell my story. We're still in phase 1 here.
Okay, phase 1.
Phase 1.
Phase 1, I know nothing.
So, you know, I decided...
You went to Zillow, you went to Realtor.com, you saw the...
I decided, you know what? I'm never going to get familiar with this process at all if I don't, like, you know, maybe talk to a realtor, look at some houses. So maybe I should hit the button on one of these listings that, I'm interested in this. And then I'll go out and see the house and see how much of a dump it really is. And it'll be, you know, it'll be an experience I could talk about on the show. So at least I'll get some, you know, material out of this.
Or even simpler, when you're going on Zero, it will show you to the open houses. So like almost every weekend, there's some house that's an open house. And you could just go there.
Okay, you know, so
and you don't even have to give the name to the realtor.
Right, but I'm trying to get through phase 1 here.
Right.
So I decide today, you know, I'm going to click the button and see what happens.
Yeah.
I click the button, and the button was wired straight to my phone. My phone immediately rings, jingle, 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 and then I get a text message, and then an email comes into my box. Now I was on my lunch break, and I get back to work, and I'm like, I didn't want to talk to someone right away. I just wanted to click a button, and I thought someone, no, they're like, bam, let's talk to this person. We got a live one here. So she calls back right as I'm wrapping up my last ticket for the day, and I stop work. So I pick up the phone, and it's the person whose name was on the page. And so I explained to her, hey, look, I'm going to level with you. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never owned a house. And everyone says congratulations to you.
Fishy. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. What's fishy about this? I'm fishy or she's fishy?
No, that's what they call the newbies, the fishy.
Ah. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, I never watched that all the way through.
That's at the very beginning.
I
when he's
watched
going into prison for the first time.
But we're on phase 1, Brian. Okay, Brian.
Phase 1.
You've been all over the place this whole show. Let's steer the last 15 minutes here, okay?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So I
noticed that too, huh?
I assume that this is a person that shows houses, because why else would her name be connected to this house on the website?
Absolutely. Yeah, right.
So now when you're a first-time homeowner, everyone says congratulations as if, you know, you're definitely buying a house at the end of this process. And it's like, don't congratulate me yet. You don't even know what my credit score is. You don't know if you're going to get me a loan.
You haven't even done anything yet.
You're congratulating me at clicking a button on the internet. So, you know,
congratulations.
Thank you. Not everyone can click a button on the internet. I mean, it requires having a mouse. It requires having an email address to fill into the field and the valid phone number they can call. So, yeah. I mean, this is a lot of hoops I had to jump through to get to the point of having someone call me. So now, this person is not a realtor. This person is going to put me in she's going to put me in touch with a realtor. And now she says you express interest in such and such number, 23 Fake Street. Whatever. I'm like, yeah, I was looking at it. Well, now you're looking at things in that price range. Yeah, for some starter house. I mean, first time homeowner. And so she's like, we could put you in touch with loan officer to see about pre-approval, and we'll set you up with that, and we'll put you in touch with a realtor. I'm like, whoa. Let's. I'm just looking at houses. Let's not run the credit check just yet. Let's because I know anytime you run a credit check that counts for something. Although
your credit score.
Yeah, probably doesn't ding it by much. Now the next guy. So she forgoes the whole pre-approval and puts me through to the actual realtor, which is a guy named Bill, and is he a talker? So
I hope so. He's a salesman.
But once he got on the phone, the address of the house that I clicked on was never mentioned again. Basically, he's talking about, so you're looking in that area. I'm like, yeah, I'm open to that area. Someplace I can commute to Boston too easily, but is at a lower price point. He's like, okay, well, and then he starts building up. Well, the problem is anything outside of Boston is a hot market. You're going to get people are in bidding wars. They sell for more than they're asking for because then you get multiple offers, and it's got to drive it up. 330, this and that, and he's going on and on about how horrible the housing market is, how things are selling for more than they're asking prices, and how things are
good sales pitch. I think I'll stay in my apartment.
So I kind of say to him, okay, I get about 15 minutes into this doom and gloom scenario. I'm like, hey, I kind of get the point here, but you're really painting a doom and gloom scenario here. Where are you going with this? He goes, well, that's the thing, is that right about now, we're entering November, and we're getting into the holiday season, and you're going to get snow falling, and you're going to get winter. People aren't going to go out looking at houses. The next few months up ahead here, this is when to buy. This is what. So I'm like, oh, he wants me to buy something now.
Yeah, at a higher price because of all the bidding.
No, the bidding happens when the weather gets warmer. There's not as much bidding.
Yeah, when everybody is
in the
out,
winter.
there's a lot of bidding. That's correct.
He's talking about how it's a horrible housing market. So you got to hit in the window of time that is better when there's less people buying houses.
But
and
he
bidding.
still let you know that there's a possibility of higher prices.
Yeah,
so
well,
that he'll charge you a higher price and you get a bigger commission.
I think what he's saying to me is that if you don't buy something within the next few months, you're going to be getting into bidding wars in warmer weather, so buy now. And then he starts going into, the price is just going to keep going up. I mean, you wait till next year, you wait till the year after that, you wait till the year after that, they're going to keep going up, 260, 280, 310, 340, and you're going to be priced out. You're just going to be priced out. And I said, yeah, unless the housing market completely crashes like it's done in the past, because you never know what's going to. He's like, well, yeah, true. I guess that could happen, but yeah. Right. So yeah, that was.
And also interest rates could go up. Did he mention that part?
He didn't mention that. He didn't even talk about interest.
But that's another thing that could be going on is the interest rates could go up.
And the other thing, he's trying to kind of gently make the point that if you decided something in the next 2 months, that would be in your best interest.
By the way, do you belong to a credit union?
No.
I would find one because they're going to have the best interest rate, and you don't have to go through the bullshit. You're still going to have to pay the fees, but excuse me, most credit unions give you better fees.
All right. Well, anyways. What was the other? The other thing is that at the start of the call, he didn't like that I didn't talk to the finance people to get a pre-approval before talking to him. He's like, right. You wouldn't go get the family all ready, get everyone in the car, get all dressed up, and get out to the grocery store without bringing some money with you in your wallet, because and I'm like, yeah, but I don't go to a grocery store to look at the items to get an idea of what they carry. That's what I'm doing here. I'm not ready to bid.
Exactly. Right.
I'm nowhere close to bidding. Not even close. I'm being honest with this guy. Like, hey, look, if you think you're wasting your time on me, that's cool. But no one's going to say they think they're wasting time on you because they think they can sell you a house. I mean, first time, I think
I'm going to offer $50 for the house and ask for a reduced. What's the commission rate? And I'm going to ask for a reduction. That's all on the table.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Right.
But anyways, he's supposedly going to send me some listings to look over, and then pick a house to look at. We'll go pick any house, the first house, first house to look at. We'll come out, we'll see it. You'll be overwhelmed. It's kind of like you're feeling right now, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. Yeah, get me some.
So here's the thing to do: is go back to Zillow and see what houses are doing an open house this coming weekend.
Okay.
Go to a few houses that look like they're interesting.
Uh-huh.
If they're busy with people, a lot of times there'll be people there with their real estate agent, and you kind of see how they operate. And you can kind of tell, hey, I kind of like that guy, or that guy's a dick. Go with someone that seems to be knowledgeable and whatever, and say, oh, by the way, I kind of like the way you do business. I wouldn't mind hooking up with you and look at some houses at some point and get the guy's business card.
Let's go hang out in houses. I like your style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and then you kind of get an idea of what you want.
I'll see if I can squeeze something.
Have you ever watched shows like The Property Brothers or House Hunters?
Not really.
You could also do that. Although a lot of realtors, when they see these people that watch those shows, they hate it.
Why?
You watch
Because
TV.
because they're typically
Boring.
very fussy on what they want. Instead of the dork that doesn't watch those shows will go in and go, oh, okay, I guess this is fine, because they don't know what they want.
I
See?
Well, I want,
and those are easy sales.
Well, I want something that has got preferably 3 bedrooms.
I mean, after all, if you're gonna pay the guy $50,000 in commission, you might as well get what you fucking want.
Yeah.
So figure out what you really want.
Well, what I really want is probably out of my price range. So I'm going to have to make some, settlements.
Well, that's why. How many houses would you expect to be looking at before you buy?
I don't know.
Just take a wild guess. How many houses would you think you'd have to look at?
Now, part of me is of the mindset, if I find something I like on Zillow and I go and look at it and I like it there, I'm not the type of person that's going to not take the first house I look at just because it's the first house I look at. If I fall in love with the first house I look at, I'll move on it. But I could end up looking at over 20,
See, that's more realistic, because 20 is more realistic.
Yeah. No, get me along. I'm not naive. I'm not expecting to buy the first house I look at. But
because
I'm open.
They might, I say, oh, this is the perfect house. The listing is perfect as far as price, but there's a bidding war, and it goes out of your price range.
Keep in mind, Brian, my personality, my style. I married the first girl I went out with, so there you go. I'm not into let's look over. If I find something that works, I stick with it.
Right. But it's not that easy.
If you find something that only accepts you.
Right, because you have to, if there's a bidding war, you've got this issue, you've got other things, you kind of go...
Right, yeah. Anyway...
there's a lien on the house that may not clear. Well, you sometimes need to know enough to just walk away from it.
And Dune wants to know what town I'm looking in. Well, I've been... what's kind of come up as a more affordable town is a town called Brockton, but... I'm not familiar with, being that their prices are lower, there's probably a reason for that, but
maybe the school district sucks?
It could be.
Are you interested in the school district?
No.
You should.
That's Massachusetts.
You should, because if you want to sell it, that's an important feature. Even though you don't use it, it's a very important feature.
But here's the thing. I'm also concerned about my the price to buy. I mean, it's going to affect both the buying and the selling price. So no, school district is low on my list. yes, it's a factor in the resale price, but I'm I'm concerned about the buying price and living there.
Right.
So
Sure.
no, that's
But
lower.
it is worth considering. It's just on the list of things to consider.
Yeah,
Right.
Brockton, that's in Massachusetts, ain't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been
Yes.
to there.
What's there?
Let's say I've been to there.
Okay. Now one of my
A lot of one-way streets.
I actually there was a coworker of a contractor that was hired early on when I was working at my current job, that she was from that area, and she didn't seem to have any problems with the area. Yeah, I would check it out more and actually walk around there before I decide to buy something there. But
Sure.
I've noticed that it is a lower cost area. But then again, I'm
Right.
living in a lower cost area, and I've not had any problems here.
Right.
It's not like. So yeah, there's different price points in the areas outside of
Right.
Boston, but there's not like an Oakland of Boston. Generally these areas here are nice, New England areas.
Actually, there are parts of Oakland that have just in the last few years have really turned around and are extremely desirable.
Dune writes in that
Maybe
I
it's
could buy.
because the Raiders are leaving.
Dune suggested that I could buy Venison's house and let him live in the garage. Oh,
No, you want the garage for your car. You could set up a shed in the back for venison.
you know what? I'll let him have the basement. He can have the basement.
Venison, is there a basement in that house?
Yes, there is a basement, but there's a problem. It floods.
Well, then we'll buy you.
We'll put your bed on stilts
We'll buy you a raft,
Yeah.
and a raft.
a waterbed.
There we
There we go.
the
Waterbed, problem
Waterbed.
solved.
flooding is getting real badly because of the way they, did the drainage system is down. The pipes are smaller until now they get backup flooding.
You see, the problem with Venison's house is that's something of a fixer-upper type of
Well, you
a
just put in a
situation.
sump pump.
Now it is.
Put a
So
sump pump in
because
there.
uh,
How's the roof?
it probably needs to be done.
Well, there's just one part because there's a hole in it,
The
which
stair,
I haven't been able to get fixed.
the stairs are ready to collapse.
No, they're not.
Don't you have duct tape?
I mean, stairs are ready to collapse. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, that's what Neo kept saying. She said it was soft under her feet. Then again, it was Neo.
Has Neo been there?
Yeah.
Maybe the basement stairs,
Oh.
because those, plank type, type deal.
Okay, that might have been the stairs she was talking about.
Yeah, I thought say, because the house stairs, I mean, the house itself, it's a solid ass shit.
Anyways, we'll see what I can fit in this weekend because I got plans this weekend. Because when I was in Orlando one night, my supervisor and me were looking for a place to grab some dinner on the company I work for is Dime. And I said, hey, you know what? There's this great place called Fogo de Chao, or Fogo de Chao, or however you pronounce it. And there it is right there across the street. And you just keep the cart on the green side all night long, and you're set. And we got there, and they were all filled up. But they handed me a free $20 off my next visit to any Fogo de Chao. And it expires in a few weeks.
Uh-huh.
But it's only good for weekend brunch. So I'm
Cool.
which brunch is not really brunch. Brunch is more of a somewhere between lunch and dinner type of thing. So I booked a
Well,
reservation.
brunch is supposed to be between breakfast and lunch.
Yeah. Well,
That's
this
why it's called
this
brunch.
falls. This is more like lunch.
So you can get in an open house before you go to the brunch, and then after you could go to another open house.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on, and I can fit in the schedule. But I got reservations for 1:30 to
Right.
this Saturday to eat meat and more meat and more meat and more meat and more meat and get $20 off and probably
Yeah.
still pay way too much.
Right.
Good.
But
That's all right.
Now then,
You haven't gone
I have a
vegan
question to
yet,
ask
right?
you.
Yes, sir.
no,
Yeah, now question. Because, you've all been going off on multiple subjects. Real estate, train tickets, like, bleh. Okay, but anyway, first of all, did you get a hold of Sir Mars?
No, we left him a voicemail.
Damn it! I wanted to see what his take on that Sailor Moon clip was. It was My Little Pony meets Sailor Moon. It's funny.
He doesn't love us anymore.
Oh, by the way, My Little Pony meets Godzilla. Hysterical. I watched a lot of those things last night. They were goofy as shit. Mm-hmm. But and otherwise, what's about to say a few things about some of the Halloween stuff, but he never got around to it.
Oh well, yeah, that's coming up. We got
tomorrow.
Candy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and
how many kids do you think you'll get, Jonathan?
What's that?
How many kids you think you'll get?
3, 5.
Well, you got the kids upstairs, right?
Yeah, they come through the ceiling.
Well, if you don't get candy for them, they'll probably jump on the floor all the time.
You know what? Let me tell you something. There's something weird about those people up there.
Yeah,
This morning, I keep finding the front door wide open. Now, I mean, there's a storm door that's closed because it's spring-loaded, but the front door wide open. Every
they were
time
born in a barn.
Well, but it's getting weird. Here's the weird part. So I wake up this morning, and at 5:30, I leave the house, and I go down the stairs, and as usual, door wide open. And you figure it's 5:30 in the morning. Someone last night left it open, and I don't get this. I don't get this. But
does anybody go out early?
I don't know.
Before you?
I don't think so.
You could talk to the landlord about getting a spring on that door.
Well, it's that would take a big spring. I don't know.
That should be easy.
No, the thing
you
is,
just add it to the hinge.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
We usually leave that. There's a lock on the door to this apartment. As long as I got the bolt on that, I'm fine. Whatever. You wanna live in a barn, but I'm keeping my door locked. But
the trouble with that expression.
What's that?
The trouble with the expression of "born in the barn."
Okay.
Any farmer that would lived on a farm, or any person that lived on a farm,
would leave the door closed.
Would leave it closed because the animals would get out.
Yes.
So it's kind of an absurd, and the farmers also get blamed for daylight savings time.
Which,
right?
No,
they're getting
totally
screwed.
Not their thing. Not their thing at all.
It's bankers, because bankers are idiots.
Oh, all right. So anyways.
Oh, yeah. When is that full of story?
Let me tell the story!
I think it's next weekend.
So I leave at 5:30 and close the door and go to get on the train, which takes me round trip. So 7 o'clock, I come back.
And the door's open.
Door's wide. Between 5:30 and 7, someone opened the door.
Right.
Why?
So get a video camera pointing to that door and see who's the asshole that opens it and leaves it open.
I raised the point of possibly putting some cameras up around this building. Kristen didn't like the idea. Now, that was when I had packages disappearing, which then would reappear like a few days later.
Right. In fact, did that mystery ever get solved?
I think that the Amazon van delivered both those packages to the wrong place, and someone eventually threw them into our wide open door. That's my current theory. I don't know what what was up with that.
Actually, I had a package that was coming to the thing. I was watching the tracking, and then suddenly it says it was returned damaged, but it was also marked as being refused. Well, I never saw it, so I didn't refuse it.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
They did issue the refund that included the shipping. I mean, so there was no, so I got the entire amount back.
Okay.
Because in fact, as soon as I saw it was returning, that was not going to come, I ordered another one.
Right.
Another order, put in another one.
That's
for
weird.
the same thing.
I hate shipping companies anyways. But so interesting thing, quick little thing. Massachusetts is just making some considerations to get off the daylight savings time. The only thing is that they don't really want to get off daylight savings time. They want
just
to
make
get
it permanent.
Yeah, they want to get on daylight savings times year round, but you can't do that. You can only opt out of it. You can't opt in year round.
Well, Arizona does what they do.
Well, they
whatever
opt. Yeah, they opt out.
Right. So opt in permanently.
No.
And if they say no, you say
no. The technically correct way, which is what they're going to try, what they're suggesting, is to basically switch to be in the Atlantic time zone, and then opt out of daylight savings time.
Oh, brother.
Which I don't think it'll happen, but Maine.
Good luck with that.
Well, Maine has flirted with the idea of joining Atlantic time zone, but they can't get any traction. I think it's one of the things like Maine would get more serious about considering doing it if New Hampshire
but a lot of
and
business people
Massachusetts would.
probably want to be on the same time zone as other businesses.
That's the thing, yeah.
Across the state lines.
It throws a
Right.
fifth time zone into the country.
Right.
Into the continental states. It throws Massachusetts into a different time zone from New York, and that, yeah.
It screws things up.
Yeah.
This confuses people.
Very large country that would normally span several time zones that has a single time zone for the entire country. I can't recall what country.
Ooh.
It could be Russia.
Well,
I'm not sure.
someone proposed.
Oh, Russia has 7.
Someone proposed that we should get rid of daylight savings time.
Or it could be India. Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
someone's proposed we should get rid of daylight savings time, put Central Time on Eastern Time, put Mountain Time on Pacific Time, and just have 2 time zones in this country.
You know, it's a better idea.
What's that?
Just go to Universal Time.
So you just
Whatever. So if the sun rises at 4 in the afternoon, so what?
But anyways, we have reached the end of another show, and we do want to talk about what we've learned this week, because I think we've learned a lot. So, Venison, what have you learned this week?
I've learned that, the trains in your area aren't that good. And Brian's an idiot.
Oh, Brian, what have you learned?
Yeah, okay. So along the whole line, of there's this one idiot that doesn't know how to control notification pop-ups for apps. This other guy doesn't know whether his company is connected with a credit union that could really save him a lot of money and a lot of aggravation.
I bank with the bank I used to work for. I got an interest-bearing free checking account. You can't get that anymore.
Are they going to offer you a loan in Massachusetts?
Maybe. I've got friends there still.
So talk to the loan officer.
I might.
And I'd get that kind of checking account
if that's the case, and they give you
if I
a
did.
reasonable competitive rate, then yeah, go with it.
I don't-
When the guy wants you to talk to the finance manager, you tell him, no, I'm taking care of that. Because you've got this connection with this loan officer.
Right. Well, he tried to make the case that we'll get you pre-approved for something just so that we know that you're pre-approved for something, and then once you get serious about making an offer, then we start comparing different rates, different things.
But then you're hooked up with his guy, and that's what he's selling.
And that's the thing
That's a sales pitch.
I didn't want to get everything at one place. I was like, maybe I should do my own research rather than just
Right.
have you hook me up with your people. I mean,
See, what you do is when you go to your bank and you get your loan officer, he will give you a pre-approved number.
anyways, yeah, the whole thing is
That way you leave that other asshole
I was
out of it.
expecting to talk to one person about one specific house.
Absolutely.
I ended up
Yeah.
being passed off to another person who's going to talk to me about a lot of houses,
Right.
and probably not the original house I was even looking at.
Okay, so
pictures
the
of.
other thing you can do on Zillow is when, a lot of
But
times
what did we
there's-
learn this week? We're over. I need to get ready for bed.
Right. But what you do on Zillow is there'll usually be 2 or 3 names on a house. And maybe the first name is the guy that has the listing.
Okay. So
But
what
for
did you-
all of them, you can do research on that person and the real estate company and see what they do.
and
In other words, if you look at the guy and he hasn't sold a single fucking house, he's not
He does
actually
a
a
lot,
realtor.
doesn't he?
so
Or he
I've
sucks
learned-
at it.
So I've learned that Brian doesn't understand the question. What have you learned this week? And on that note, that draws to close another fun-filled edition of Time Out with Gators, Brian, and Chatty Brian, and Brian again, and more Brian.
Actually, I spent the
venison
weekend
on the side.
with my brother, and I didn't do any talking, so I'm making up for that.
So this is your brother's fault.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We should call him.
I don't
Next
think you
week.
want him on the show.
Oh,
but I have suggested that he call in.
Oh, we're calling this guy. We are so calling this guy. Not now. We don't got
Right,
time now,
right,
but we're we're calling this guy. This is the
I think
identical
we'll end up
twin.
with a 4-hour show.
This is the identical twin.
No. This is my younger brother.
Identical
That's in
twin?
Detroit.
Oh, okay. Not the
There's
identical twin.
two of him?
Yeah, there's another
Yes.
Brian.
Oh my god!
He's Bizarro Brian. He's got a mustache.
That's right.
On that note, it's time to put
Oh
another
my god, two Brians.
fun-filled edition to bed. Yeah, but he's got a
That's
different
right.
name.
And he's also the older twin.
By how many minutes?
4.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening. Good night.
All right, good night. See, now I'm not talking so people can't see me dance.
God.
You just talked to tell people that.
But I stopped dancing first.
Shut him up!